Hello everyone. In today's video, I will discuss about anthropological structuralism of Levi-Strauss. Particularly, I will focus on his concept of kinship system. Levi-Strauss compared kinship system with the phonemic system of language. Phonemic system means a mechanism in the language that explains the relationship between words and meanings. How human beings exchange and communicates through words. Now words have no significance without meanings. Now who gives meanings? Meanings is mainly provided, attached by the human beings. Human beings how creates meanings? Through the mental mechanism, through the practices, repeated practices they attach meaning. And once the meanings are attached to the words, these become shared in the society, and this is how communication occurs. Now, in this particular process, the words become the integral part of a system. No word in the language is isolated. It is related to other word and the system as a whole. One particular word cannot be understood in isolation. There is no meaning for a word in isolation. It has to be related to its context, a situation, and the system as a whole. So, this particular system can be compared to the kinship system according to Levi-Strauss. Kinship system that exists in society. Without kinship system, society cannot run, society cannot function, society cannot have the order and the system. So kinship system is also has the terms, and the terms are like the words. So terms which varies from society to society, but there are certain terminologies which are commonly used. So these terminologies have the meanings. These meanings are again not pre-given, not naturally given, rather created by human beings, attached by human beings through their mental mechanism, through their practices, repeated practices, and become the habitualized and institutionalized. So ultimately, the human society also get a kind of system like language, which which determines every relationship in the society. So for example, terminology father, terminology mother, these are uniformly found. Of course, there are the linguistic words used for the father and mother, but the kinship terminology father and mother, which are uniform in the human society. Now, these terminologies are not just words. These terminologies are attached with a particular concept, entity. These terminologies describes a particular concept, describe a particular situation, a context. When we are saying father, there is the entire background behind the process of becoming father, how a person is becoming father, how a person has became father. So meaning is shared. Now once a person is saying father, other person also understand what is the meaning of father. So this is how it works. Similarly, brother, sister, husband, wife, sister, brother, uncles, the cousins. So many kinds of such relationship exist, and these relationships are expressed through kinship terminologies. Kinship terminologies are uniform in the society. So like linguistic system, in the kinship system also underlying laws exist according to Levi-Strauss. So that is why he compared kinship system with the phonemic system of the language. Without these common underlying law, there cannot be kinship system, and without kinship system there cannot be a society. So according to him, kinship system is the elementary structure of the society. Now he has mentioned about two systems of the kinship. One is system of terminology, second one is system of attitude. Now terminology, as I have already explained, that how the various terms defines the relationship in a society, how various terms or terminologies maintains a regulative mechanism for the relationship, for the order in the society. Now, how can one person know whom to marry and whom not to marry? This kinship system only decides that whom one can marry and whom one cannot marry. So this is how The human beings maintains relationships, creates new relationships, and develops new relationships through kinship system, through kinship terminologies, and these terminologies are uses in everyday life. So ultimately, these are meaningful in the context, in the situation. So second element in the kinship is system of attitude. A system of attitude means people's inner attitude towards a particular kinship terminology, because here this attitude is not towards the word, rather towards the concept, towards the background of this particular word, concept behind this word, entity behind this word or terminology. Father is just a word, but its meaning is attached to the concept, object, entity behind this word. So a person, if he is son, if she is a daughter, then her attitude or his attitude towards the term father is determined by their biological relationship. If a person is uncle, so attitude will be of different kinds, quite different from the attitude towards the father. The attitude of the people towards various terminologies, actually towards various persons, are very important for maintaining a ordered society, for maintaining a structure in the society. A person knows whom to marry, whom to talk jokingly, whom to talk with a decent attitude, whom to talk with the respect and honor. This is because of the kinship terminology, but not just terminology, the attitude attached to the terminology. Now, attitude and terminology are not enough. The people's mental mechanism of connecting the entity concept with the terminology and attitude. Now, these three things are important: people's attitude, terminology, and the object. That is entity, the human person. So, these three interconnected process makes the kinship, and it ultimately contributes the order of the society. Now, Levi-Strauss further discussed about the structure of the society, particularly the existence of kinship system. For him, kinship system can only exist in the society if there are three family relations. What are these three family relations? Relations of consanguinity, relation of affinity, and relation of descent. Relation of consanguinity means blood relationship. So relationship through blood becomes the consanguineous relationship, that is siblings, maybe between brothers and brothers, sister and sister, cousins. So all blood relationship comes into the category of consanguineous relationship. Then second is the relationship of affinity, that is relationship through marriage, that is relationship between husband and wife, and all other relations that develops or derives from the marriage between two persons. Then the third relationship of descent. Descent is the lineage, passage of one's family name, or descent or lineage from one generation to another generation. So if it is a patrilineal, then from father side it will pass. If it is matrilineal, then from mother side it will pass. So ultimately there is a relationship between parents and children. Children attains the name, attains the lineage through father or from mother. That is, from either side they will attain the lineage, but to which side it will pass, it depends on the nature of society, whether it is patriarchal or matriarchal. So ultimately these three type of family relations are the conditions of the existence of kinship system. So this is how society maintains its order. Family relations are maintained because of the kinship system, and again kinship system exists because of the family relations. So these two things reinforce each other. Families relations and kinship system reinforce each other, and ultimately social order is maintained. So this is how Levi-Strauss tried to understand the relationship between linguistic system and the kinship system in the society. So In the next video, I will try to explain more about other concepts of Levi-Strauss. So thank you very much for watching.